Alright guys, it's another intra-week update. I will be making a very short update on what has happened in the market so far and what I'm expecting. So right here we have the dollar index chart, DXY, and I covered that I wanted to see that swing high taken as we tap into this liquidity void. Then we could see a bearish structure to the downside, right? But as we can see right now, we have a very bullish structure. Prices supporting higher prices. We're taking liquidity and we are reversing, and every down close candle is supporting higher prices. So right now, based on the hourly time frame, I'm not really going to be bullish as of yet, but I mean, I can't say I'm bearish, not bullish. I can't say I'm bearish yet because right now we're getting bullish structure. Even though overall, looking at the higher time frame like the daily chart, I am still bearish. I'm still looking to see if this gap could push us lower to that sell side liquidity. When we go, actually even when we look at this chart, we can see that this actually looks like a traditional AMD formation. We got the accumulation when price was just stuck in the range. We got a manipulation when price decided to manipulate lower and quickly sharp turn to the upside. And we could expect to see a distribution leg clearing those highs. So there's a high chance that this is literally just AMD. A very high chance of that happening because everyone has been extremely bearish on the dollar. Everyone has been easily selling the dollar. Sentiment is now purely bearish, and they could decide to flip the switch and turn everything now to become bullish. So high possibility, high probability, something to pay attention to. And another thing that got my interest based off of that was GBP USD. I'm gonna clean up my chart a little bit, not too much, just this portion, and move over to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we just rejected off of this gap, this bearish fair value gap from the weekly, and it's also visible on the daily. As I said, most people are very bullish on GU, which is bearish on DXY, and we could actually now see GU return all the way to this sell side liquidity and basically these relative equal lows in these areas right there, right? Because this is considered a strong support area for support and resistance traders. So we could watch out for this sell side liquidity to be tagged next. I can't remain bullish forever, but because this is a weekly chart, it's a bit of a patience game to wait and see if by the end of the week we close below this weekly gap. So this weekly imbalance that we've tapped into, that I did not want us to tap into because of SMT, I need to see if CPI is willing to push us higher and clear the buy side liquidity at 1.35 psychological level, or is CPI gonna close lower, therefore using this bullish gap as an inverted gap, an inversion gap, to continue lower, something like this, then continuation lower, something like that. Never mind the zigzags, but yeah, lower prices. So it's a waiting game. It's still a Monday, we have a long way to go, and I can't really predict much without waiting for the weekly close. Now we move on to the next instrument that I was paying attention to. Of course, we have euro dollar with the same expectation. I am still bullish, as I said, to these relative equal highs and the buy side liquidity at 1.13 level. But if we are gonna be bearish, if we're gonna turn bearish, then of course we can look for the 1.01 level. I'm still leaning towards more bullish price action, but I already said I am not going to be buying until we get the confirmation on the lower time frame that we are now shifting from from bearish to bullish. So let's say on the hourly here, for example, I would prefer to see these body highs specifically to be disrespected. So if we get an expansion above this, we could then look for a retracement before continuing higher to the final target. So yeah, but I would need to see the confirmation, I would need to see the displacement, I would need to see intent for price to move from discount to premium. When we move over to the indices, many people online were saying that they expected Nasdaq to open up and fall. Personally, I think we may actually start expanding higher on the indices. I don't really have a reason behind that. I don't really have a PDR rate that I'm watching for, but I'm saying we might get bullish indices very soon and very quickly. So watch for that possibility. When we look down on the daily time frame, depends on how price action is tomorrow, but if the daily is giving us bullish price action, then we could look to target this area, this fair value gap, as our premium target if we're gonna be bullish. If we're gonna be bearish, of course we have sell side liquidity, which is gonna be the previous daily low. So something to pay attention to: previous daily high and previous daily low. Whichever one we get first, we can trade the opposite. Same goes with ES. I don't believe we tagged anything important. Yeah, we didn't. So yeah, that's all I have for now. It's the end of a long day for me, so I'll call it a day here, and I will say stay safe, good luck, and as usual, good trading.